Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. Now, a lot is going to happen this month. I say that on the 1st of July, but even myself, I did not expect it to be this much. Now, it's not just in terms of incomings, outgoings, and also managerial changes in terms of the assistant coaches and all that, board changes. It's going to be a very busy month for Arsenal. If we can be able to get everything done this month, that would be absolutely incredible because there's literally 30, 40 things to get done. Now, Tomiyasu is in the news today. We'll talk about him. Breaking news from hand of Arsenal. The latest on Zinchenko, the latest on Martinelli. Saudi Arabia are ready to make us an incredible offer should Martinelli be let go if that offer comes in. And then at the end, the latest on Eze and Rodrygo. Now, let's start with Tomiyasu. Before I even go to the news on Tomiyasu, players like Tomiyasu obviously want to play. He does not choose to get injured. I know it's very, very tough for players like that, to stay out for that long and, not being able to help their team. And especially a player like Tomiyasu seeing Arsenal competing for the league title over the last 3 years and not being able to assist. I know it's very hard on them. And I still see some comments on even posts like this, people saying, "Nah, I don't care, he gets a lot of money." I don't think that is usually the case. I don't think they only care about the money and stuff like that. Those players want to play. So a player like Tomiyasu, when we were competing for the league, and then he gets injured against Sporting, and then misses the rest of the season, and then obviously end up not winning the Premier League title. I'm sure it hurts for a player like that. He's only 26 years of age, and a couple of years ago, he also lost his mom. So it's very, very tough to be in such situations and not being able to play. Last season, he literally played less than 10 minutes the entire season. So that is tough. Now, what is the latest on Tomiyasu? I've always told you guys, like in the live shows, that I don't expect Tomiyasu and Jesus to be sold because they're injured. So there's no way you can sell them and get any money for them. And someone like Tomiyasu, his contract is expiring next year. So it's either you let him go right now for free, or you let him go next year for free, because I don't think there's anyone who's really coming to pay a lot of money right now. So unless this happened, the only way Tomiyasu could end up leaving Arsenal is something like this happening. Arsenal have been in discussions with the camp of Takehiro Tomiyasu to mutually part ways pending an agreement. That is the direction of travel as we speak. Clubs from Saudi Arabia have made contact with the players' agency yesterday. So it's looking like the solution that Arsenal is looking to get to is letting or cancelling his contract right now, pretty much, and let him go for free, because you're not going to sell him right now. He's not played enough games recently. No one is going to buy him for that, for any amount of money. The only way is to let him go on a free, cancel his contract right now. Or I thought the best thing that could have happened is maybe January, you loan him out or you sell him in January, because he's not going to participate that much next season at all again, and that will be another season going to waste, unfortunately, for him, for us, and for his career as well. Now, Tomiyasu has been at Arsenal for 4 seasons. He obviously joined us in 2021, and he played that season. He actually played a lot at the beginning, but then he got injured again. And then the next season, Ben White came in. Saliba, Ben White came in. Ben White was there that season. It was 2021, right? And then he was playing as a centre back. But the next season, after Saliba came back and played as a centre back, Ben White was moved to the right back position, and Tomiyasu's position was basically taken from then. Now, the craziest and the most painful stat, unfortunately, is Tomiyasu's been at Arsenal for 4 years. He's played 84 games. He's missed 107 games. That is a lot of games to miss. Basically, he's missed more than 50%. He's missed more games than he's been available for. Now, again, that is not Tomiyasu's fault. He doesn't want to get injured and stay out. No, I'm sure he'd want to play. Every single player wants to be playing. But, as Arsenal as a business and Arsenal as a club, they have to look at it. Obviously, they have to look at, should we let you go right now? Are you helping us towards our achievement? In terms of salary, can we give that salary to someone else who can be available? The club looks at that. And actually, in terms of, not just throwing away a player, I don't think Arsenal have ever just thrown away a player. I think Arsenal are, the classiest club when it comes to, handling injuries and, taking care of players. We did that with players like Cazorla for a long time, with Rosicki for a long time. And even for us fans, we've always, wanted Cazorla to stay. Let's see if he's going to recover. Let's see if, Jack Wilshere will recover. It takes us like literally to the last second for us to let go of that player. And we actually did the same thing with Tomiyasu. We actually gave him a new contract last year in March, despite him, at that point, he had still missed like half half of the games in his Arsenal career, but we still gave him a new contract and we extended it until 2026. But 2026 is now coming up, 1 year away, and there's no signs of him recovering from his injury problems. He's literally had 8 different injuries at Arsenal. I think 4 of them have been knee injuries, a couple of surgeries, and 65 Premier League games in 4 years. That is very, very low. And he's a very good player as well. That is why it's very painful as well. He's a very, very good player that I feel like if he was there in the 22-23 season and the 23-24 season, we probably win the league title because we'd have had more options. Those days where, we Zinchenko was coming up against Liverpool and Salah on that wing, we could have had someone like a Tomiyasu playing that role instead. Maybe we win at Anfield in the 2023 season and we end up winning the league title. And apart from Timber coming in recently, Tomiyasu has been one of our best defenders in terms of one-on-one marking and versatile left wing, left back, right back, centre back. I think he's even played a game at defensive midfield in the second half or something. He's been really good. Whenever he's on the pitch, he's been really, really good. Previous season before last, there's a game against Lens at home where we won 6-0 and he was very good. He got 2 assists in that game and I thought he was back. Remember, he even got the assist when we beat Man City for the first time in a long time. He's the one who got the assist for the Martinelli goal. And at that point, I was like, yeah, Tomiyasu is back. He was featuring. But to be honest, he's never been able to play 4, 5, 90 minutes in a row. Not at all. I think never actually in his Arsenal career. He plays 4 games, 90 minutes, and then he's out for another couple of months. He's never really had a stable, consistency in the team at all. So the team will look at that. Obviously, gave him a new contract last year. I don't think you're going to give him a new contract again for next season. Because at this point, to be honest, he has already been replaced. By the time we get into next season, there's going to be 9 defenders in the team. And, at the moment, Timber is ahead of Tomiyasu. Lewis Kelly is ahead of Tomiyasu. You can argue Calafri is ahead of Tomiyasu. Same with Ben White. So he wouldn't really be a regular. He would be an option, but he wouldn't really feature for us at all. So Arsenal are considering cancelling his contract and letting him go for free. And I don't think you can argue that at all because 4 years, we're going into the 5th year now. Again, as I said, we're actually very good in terms of handling injuries. And some teams actually, when a player gets injured for a year, they sell right away when he's back. So for us, we actually never do that. Now, it's looking like, before we go to Zinchenko, it's looking like Arsenal now want to get rid of a lot of players who are usually not available or they don't trust at the moment. Because and also trying to reduce the wage bill because Partey 200k. Sterling has left, obviously, 110k there. We've saved. Tierney as well. He was on 110k. He's left too. Jorginho's also on 110k. He's left as well. Tomiyasu is currently on 100k. That will be money that would save. Someone like Tomiyasu leaving for that, getting that 100k back. We can give that money to someone like Saka and extend his give him more money from 195k to 295k. You can give that money to someone like Saka and you give him a new contract. Someone like Saliba as well. If some Madrid are pushing and you need to get his contract to 300,000 plus a week, you're going to need that kind of money. Martinelli has been linked to the move away. 180k per week is what he gets. Trossard, not sure about what is happening with him right now, but it's 90k. His contract also expires next year, just like Tomiyasu. And then there's players like Zinchenko, whose contract also expires next year, who's on 150k. So if we let go of all of these players, I'm sure Jesus would have been on the list. Maybe he's going to be on the list next year. That is close to $1 million in terms of contracts and wages. You can use that money to get players like Rodrygo and Gyökeres and extend Saliba and Saka. That could be the case. And especially the other players who are coming in at very low wages like Norgard, you can use that money to get the forward players and attract a lot of players by getting rid of the players who are not usually available. So that is just football, unfortunately. And I'm sure, I don't think Tomiyasu will be here next season. Looking at this, I think he's going to leave. Clubs from Saudi Arabia have made contact with the players' agency yesterday. Another player I forgot about is El Neni as well. We still gave him a new contract even when he was injured. Zinchenko. According to Mail, Christian Mosquera is expected to sign from Valencia, and a fullback could well be considered if Alexander Zinchenko is, as expected, leaves the club. So again, 150k is what Zinchenko is currently on. Again, another player who doesn't want to be injured, but he's also been injured a lot. And this past season, when he was available, you can tell he was not high on Arteta's list of players who are going to play. Right now, there's like 4 players who are ahead of him at that left back spot. Calafio would start ahead of him, Lewis Kelly would start ahead of him, even Timber would start ahead of him, and who am I forgetting? Kivio would start ahead of him as well. At this moment, that is just the case. And he is one of the players that really helped us go to the next level alongside Jesus. But he had one good season, and the second season is basically not available really, and a lot of defensive lapses. And the third season, it was a mixture as well. He was available for a few games, not available for the other games. So again, all of them are not even like that close to 30. They still have a lot of years to go. The Zinchenkos and the Tomiyasus, but that money again at 150k, maybe you can use that money to pay both Mosquera and Nogard. That money can go to 2 players, Mosquera and Nogard, 50k, and maybe 60k for the other, and you still have change after that. So yeah, so Zinchenko is not going to feature for us that regularly, and Mosquera is expected to sign soon as well. Now, the interesting thing about that is that Eisen Khan says Mosquera is expected to sign from Valencia, and a fullback could well be considered. So Mosquera is a centre back. So does that mean we are also going to go for a fullback? That is crazy. It looks like we're not just adding to the team, we're also replacing. So we could actually have up to 8 signings, which is crazy because if you count Kepa, Mosquera, if you count a fullback, if Zinchenko leaves, that's 3. And then Zubimendi, that's 4. Nogard, that's 5. And obviously, we are being linked to a striker. We're going to get a striker. That will be 6. We are being linked to Eze. That would be 7. We are being linked to a left winger, Rodrygo. That would be 8 signings. That's a lot. And there's been rumors of Arsenal wanting to also get a backup for Saka. So we might have a very, very busy transfer window. And maybe that is why they brought Andrea Bata, because they knew there would be a lot to do. And fair play to him. He's done well so far because there's so much to do. The new contracts, the players that we need to sell. We've not spoken about Fabio Vieira, about Reece Nelson. There's so much to do, and all the changes in the board. Himself being new, changing the assistant manager, assistant manager. We're getting a new one, by the way, Gabriel Heinze. We're going to talk about it in the live show. So there's a lot of changes happening, and players like Zinchenko potentially leaving. It's a lot. So there was a lot of work for Andrea Bata to do there. Next up, this one. We talked about it in the previous video, but Al Nassr are ready to offer us 85 million euros for Martinelli. So again, another player. Again, this could be another reason why we brought Andrea Bata to help us in terms of sales. Arsenal don't want to sell him. He doesn't really want to go. Even if Arsenal accepts 85 million, it depends on whether Martinelli wants to leave. He might not want to leave. And if he doesn't want to go, there's nothing much you can do about that. He does have a contract at Arsenal. His contract is expiring in 2027, still 2 years to go. But he's also on a lot of money, 180k per week. So again, do Arsenal look at it and say we can use that money to buy Rodrygo, and you put Rodrygo on almost the same or just a little bit more on that, and maybe they look at the performances. I mean, Martinelli has been great more than bad in his Arsenal career. He's had 2 poor seasons recently, and although there's a season where everyone was dropping off, I think it was 2023 season, Martinelli was the only one who was really good that season. And the 2024 he wasn't that bad, but last season it was very underwhelming though. So again, how many chances do you give someone? That also becomes a thing. And I'm sure next season, if he doesn't sign a new contract, next season we're not going to be talking about 85 million. That will go down to 30, 40 million. So will Arsenal take that money and move on from him? We've never really been a team to do that, as I've said, with injuries and players like this, never really been a team to let go. That's why we've never really sold anyone. You always keep everyone for as long as we can. So let's see what happens with Martinelli. Talked about him more in the previous video, so make sure to check it out. Now, Rodrygo could be the player to replace him. According to Sami Mokbel, Arsenal have genuine interest in Rodrygo with the belief he could be a game-changing addition to the team, but whether such a transfer is realistic this summer remains to be seen. It has been suggested to BBC Sport by a well-placed source that Real Madrid would listen to offers. If Rodrygo was available, he would cost at least £70 million, which after spending on a striker may be too much. So maybe that is why it comes in when stories about Martinelli potentially leaving. Rodrygo would expect to become one of the highest paid players at the club. It is also understood there are some reservations about whether the player could adapt to the physicality of English football. So a lot of questions there. I personally think he would be a great signing for us. A lot of experience and a lot of know-how, and he wants to play as a left winger. We need to freshen up our left winger spot. although I wouldn't want us to just let Martinelli go and then not be able to sign Rodrygo, although people would say, getting that 80 million would open a lot of doors for you in terms of getting a new winger. That is also true. But, some teams usually when they know you have that money, they'll start asking for 100 million. You also don't want to be in that situation. But Rodrygo is definitely heavily, heavily linked to Arsenal. And now that he didn't even feature in the round of 16 game for Brazil, for Real Madrid, there's a huge chance that he's going to leave. So a lot of updates on Rodrygo. We'll cover it more on the live show as well, because there's been a lot of updates on him. It's looking very likely that he could be the one leaving Real Madrid. And Arsenal is one of the teams that are very, very serious on him. As Mario Cortegana says, Real Madrid and Xabi Alonso are open to Rodrygo leaving this summer. They have agreed the club will not stand in the player's way if a suitable offer is made. Arsenal have held preliminary talks with Rodrygo's camp. So the talks have begun with the agent, with Andrea Bata, and we are trying to get this deal done for sure. So this is a player you're interested in. Real Madrid know we want him at Arsenal, and Rodrygo himself, I'm sure, knows about the interest. So a lot of people want us to get him as well. In the fans' perspective, a lot of people want to get him. So let me just go through so they say Real Madrid. Can I get it right now? I mean, I'll go through it to the live show, I guess. So Mario Katagana says, we are interested in Rodrygo, basically, how much money they would want, close to, they would maybe even be happy with 75 million euros if the right offer comes in, all that. So it would be a very good, very, very good signing. And question is, some people still don't believe that he would be an improvement on Martinelli. Personally, for me, I would like both of them to be at Arsenal at the same time. Plus, trust have as many options as you can, but I don't think that is going to be the case, because the way we are letting go of players, I think you're going to have some sort of clear out this summer. And remember, it's not just these players I've mentioned. Players like Butler or Yedeji have already left. Sterling has gone back to Chelsea. Neto has gone back to Bournemouth. So Fabi Vieira, we've said that we don't want to keep him. Arsenal have said they don't want to keep him. Nelson, I don't think he's going to come back. So there will be a lot of movement for sure at Arsenal this transfer window. Amari also said coaching staff at Arsenal really admire Rodrygo, who they believe could be an option on the left and right of the attack. He has featured in discussions internally since the latter part of last season. So the way things are moving, the way we are trying to save money in terms of the players we've bought, Nogard and Kepa, and the way we're kind of reducing the wage bill, I'm starting to believe we're kind of saving that money for players like Eze and Rodrygo. Maybe we've already done a lot of the discussions, because Bata, remember, has been here since like March. So he already started doing those discussions a long time ago. And Rodrygo, since we really need that position, I am starting to feel like there's a chance we could actually get both Eze and Rodrygo, which would be so exciting. So exciting, man. Like, I don't think there's ever been a season where we've signed those many quality players in one window. Usually we get quality players, but it's only Ozil in one transfer window. It's only Alexis Sanchez in another window. It's only Aubameyang in another window. We never get like 2 or 3 in the same window, like the way Chelsea got Diego Costa and Fabregas, I think, and Courtois in one season. We never have those kind of transfer windows all at once. No, usually spread it out here and there. You get one good player this season, another good player next season. So same with players like Declan Rice. I think the Rice one and the Timber one was maybe the closest, but we usually spread it out in terms of getting good players. We don't get them all at once, but this would be a huge change in the Arsenal dynamic. This would be something that we've never seen before, and that would be a big applause to Andrea Bata if you're able to pull out through these deals, and also to the owners as well if they provide that amount of money, and also a lot of pressure on it, obviously, if we do get all of these players. Athletic also report that Arsenal have held preliminaries with Rodrygo's camp in recent weeks, and Real Madrid are open to allowing him to leave the club this summer. So that's the latest on Rodrygo. What about I wanted to talk about Eze in this video, but should we go to the next video? I think we can pull it to the next video. So basically, there was can I get it? I think I can get it right now. Just a moment. I thought I had saved it, but yeah, I think I can actually just get it right now. Just let me go quickly. So again, it would be very exciting to get all of these players for sure. So I've gotten the Eze one. Let's go through it. It was from Ben Jacobs. So this is what Ben Jacobs had to say about Eze. Eze is keen on a move to Arsenal. There's a clause there, 68 million all in. if Arsenal make an approach, and I think there's a realistic chance that they do a bid, the likelihood is they go a little bit lower or offer a different kind of structure. The clause is payable in installments, but it's relatively difficult because some of the money goes to the player, some to Crystal Palace, and some to his former club, which is I think Reading. The interest became concrete about not Reading, no. Reading was Olise. As I think it was QPR. I think Eze's team was QPR, if I'm not wrong. The interest became concrete about 10 days ago. Arsenal are serious about Eze. I'm expecting a bid. I'm expecting that bid to be below the release clause. I'm expecting that bid to be within the next 2 weeks. So hopefully before preseason, though. In that meeting at the weekend, there were senior football people from Arsenal pitching to the Eze camp. This was not just, we like you, we might go for you. This was a discussion about numbers. So we were not having the discussion with Eze trying to, tell him, you might be an option. We might want you. Do you think you might be available? Do you think you might want to join Arsenal? No, this is the case of Arsenal knowing that Eze is a former Arsenal player, want to join us. We need that position. How much does Crystal Palace want? How much do you want in terms of wages or the agent fees, all of that? How can we get this deal done? And the player wants to join us. We've been told that he would prefer Arsenal to Tottenham. Tottenham have kind of pulled out of the deal because they know he would prefer Arsenal. So again, this could actually be happening. So hopefully we can be able to get most of these big players before preseason so that they can get ready with the rest of the team and settle in as quickly as possible. Luckily for players like Eze, they have Premier League experience, but they can settle in as quickly as possible in terms of what you're trying to do and what you're trying to achieve next seasons. But I'm excited. I'm actually excited heading into next season, and I'm excited for what else is going to happen this month. We have eyes on Eze, eyes on Gyökeres, eyes on Sesko, eyes on Rodrygo, Mosquera. We're waiting for it to be done. Noga, there's a medical coming up. Zubimendi announcement is going to be done very soon as well. The departures, interesting. Could Martinelli leave Arsenal? Zinchenko, could he leave Arsenal? Kivio, could he end up leaving Arsenal? Tomiyasu out of nowhere, could he actually end up leaving Arsenal? New contracts. We've given Gabriel and Lewis Kelly. We're waiting to see what happens with Trossard, Nwaneri, Saliba, Saka. So much is happening, guys. So much is happening. And again, there was literally like another 10 topics to talk about. If you wanted to go in this video, could have gone for an hour. But yeah, let's end it there. We'll talk about more on the live show and the other videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.